Hello there and welcome back. Today we've got a 1v1 between the green player piloting the Vikings and myself in red piloting the Tatars. So it was a mutual random selection here, so I'm pretty happy whenever that happens. I feel like both me and my opponent might not necessarily know what we're doing, which can make things kind of exciting and fun. And this is also not Arabia, which is new for me. Wow, oysters. I didn't even notice those on the map. And that is foreshadowing because I don't think either of us are water players. If I were to assume, my opponent could be an arena player and I'm an Arabia player. And so we both elect to not go for a dock. The last time I played this map, I went for a dock and I regretted it because there were no deep sea fish. It was just a couple of fish here. And I just kind of thought, you know what? I'm just going to avoid that because I can't really do my build order well enough anyway. And yeah, so fun little fact. Let's see how the scouting is going on here. Pretty much no TC idle time from either of us. Looking good so far. My opponent is scouting around. He is yet to drag in a boar. I myself have pulled in my first boar. Almost sounds like I'm saying firstborn. And I've scouted my other boar as well, so we're feeling pretty happy. I'm gonna start trying to wall basically to the water here. Now, you would think that having Vikings would mean getting down a dock could be super duper helpful. So I was fully expecting my opponent to go for water, and I just kind of didn't plan on contesting it at all because Tatars are not known for their water in any way, shape, or form. So that was kind of my plan. Is like, hey, let's try to get a decent feudal age time, get some scouts on the board, and just try to slow down our opponent as much as possible. They'll probably hit water, and we'll we'll go from there. Whatever happens. Dragging in the second boar. This matchup should be a little bit interesting. Tatars are very, very good with their mounted troops. They have a wide variety, in fact, probably the widest variety of cavalry in the game. But they also have a decent archery range just because they have the free thumb ring. So against Vikings, that could be rather critical. Vikings are a archer or infantry civ. Primarily, they're probably supposed to be an infantry civ, but obviously infantry has its weaknesses, so they are quite often played as an archer civ. Opponent is now bringing in the second boar as well. Ooh, it looks like he did have some TC idle time. He is down one whole vil. Always love to see that. Makes me happy to know I'm ahead, but he's almost down a vil. He's not quite down a vil. Well, let's get back to where we can see things. Statistics, okay. Taking the second board. We are taking our chickens. I've gotten pretty good at knowing how to take chickens in my build order. I'm quite happy with it. I like to just send 4 vils over there because it takes it out pretty quickly. And then I can get over to the berries and I get enough chickens. Or enough meat. I collect the meat from the chickens and I don't feel like I'm, you know, messing up my build order and coming up at a later time or anything. So that always feels nice. That being said, if I'm on a generic civ, which Tatars are kind of generic. When I say generic, I mean generic eco. Obviously they have longer lasting herdables, but that's not going to matter too much here. Mainly what I mean is if I have a generic eco and no like food bonus early on, I will probably go for 20 vils, which is what we are doing here. Or not 20, sorry, 20 pop, not 20 vils. So we're headed up. We are now at 20 pop. We're going to grab loom, and then we are going to drop off all our food and click up to feudal age. My opponent isn't going to be headed up for quite a bit longer. So we're feeling pretty good so far. We have scouted his base, haven't taken any damage by our scout. That is rare. Typically, my scout either dies or is like half HP. So happy to see that. We've clicked up to feudal age with 9 seconds TC idle time. Definitely could have been better, but you know what? We will take it. No complaints there. And my opponent is yet to click up himself. Now, I should have seen that. Oh, there's no dock. He's probably not going for fish. But in my mind, I wasn't too scared of, I guess, an early dock because I wasn't trying to go for water myself. So I was mainly just kind of trying to scout where his resources were going to be. Saw his lumber mill. He's obviously taking the chickens with the mill. And then we have his berries. So we've been able to see most of the things we want to. Oh, there's wild boar in the middle of the map. I didn't know this. I don't play this map. What a great play from my opponent. That is so genius. He's gonna bring in some boar. He's gonna bring in both boar. He's gonna get so much food. Wow, down a whole vill, but a whole ton of food coming on in. I'm gonna have to remember that. That is absolutely genius. You learn something every day. His vill does have loom, so I don't think these boars will get anywhere near close to killing it, which is nice. But we are up to feudal age a lot quicker. So we're happy with that. My opponent's going up at 22 pop instead of 20. We're gonna get a stable down and try and commit those scout numbers that I was talking about before. Looks like both boars will be going down very shortly. And not a single vill goes down. Well played to my opponent. I really, really like that. I am so mad that I never noticed. I mean, obviously he grabbed him before, maybe I scouted him. I just didn't notice him prior. Yeah, I maybe had vision of him, so that is so interesting. Well played, I like that. I'm gonna have to try and remember that if I ever get this map again. Or any map for that matter. I should probably be trying to go for some kind of boar catch, whatever the word is. Looking for boars at least, keeping my eyes open. So it is a pretty late feudal time, but he's gonna be clicking up to men-at-arms, and he has some men-at-arms headed over the long way. I'd be interested to see what his vision is. So he can see that I am walling, so he's gonna walk around the long way and then try to hit me with his man-at-arms. Quite a fun push that he's got going on there. It's really delayed. I was almost thinking there's a chance that my opponent was on going fast castle, but I wasn't 100% sure if he had the dock or not. Part of me was assuming maybe it's just a dock and it's a bit of a slower uptime. I didn't see any aggression from him, so I wasn't too worried myself. He's obviously scouted the wood line. He's ready to hopefully get some decent value here with the man-at-arms coming in. I myself am sniping some vills on the berries, jeezums, some foragers, so quite happy with that. We're feeling pretty good so far, honestly. We're feeling quite good so far. My opponent's scout was on stand ground. He did not notice that was there. So we killed 2 vills and his scout. Nice KDA for us so far. We're feeling pretty good. He is just hugging that corner. He does not want this to be seen. Really cheeky. It did surprise me when this hit. I was like, what in the world? These man-at-arms? Where did they come from? They're gonna come in. Let's see how much damage they do. Okay, notice after 1 vill dies pretty much. Man-at-arms are pretty tanky. They are pretty good. I don't have any scouts here. So part of me is thinking I need to get some damage with my scouts, some return damage. He obviously isn't on the mills or on the berries anymore. We've lost 4 vills, 5 vills. Oh my goodness. No wonder this game felt as close as it did. We are down 5 vills. And this is the worst part too. There's a couple of spears in here and my scouts got absolutely cleaned up. We are down 3 vills. Luckily, there's so much TC idle time from my opponent that it doesn't matter too much. I gotta tell you, I was very worried at this point because I knew I had taken a decent amount of damage. I didn't think it was 5 whole villagers. Wow, 3 man-at-arms. Nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah, word to the wise. Keep your scouts potentially in your base or close by until you're fully walled. Maybe try to wall a little earlier. I don't know. Or maybe just quick wall in your wood line at any given moment, right? If you have 8 or 10 vills on it, you should just quick wall that. So I know I'm down in vills, at least I'm assuming I am, and I want to get some pressure back. So I'm going to try and keep up the scout pressure. My opponent hasn't walled, so I still have the chance to snipe some vills. Obviously, he's got spears, but I can avoid those. This time I'll pay attention. We are now fully walled as well, so I'm gonna try and recoup some of those vill count or vill losses and try and put my opponent on the back foot so I'm not as far behind. Luckily for me, he does send 1 vill back to the berries, so that forager's gonna probably die. Nope. No. I should have trapped it. That was poorly played by me. Definitely causing a little bit of idle eco time. Clicking for the wheelbarrow, which means we'll be looking to go up to Castle Age sort of soonish. We don't really have enough farms to actually justify going up that quick. So don't know that that's gonna happen. My opponent has been making some scouts himself. He's thinking something of the same idea. I see this villager here, And I didn't think that this was fully walled, so I thought, oh, I can kill this Vil and then move on. So that's going to be another Vil kill. Almost, well, not quite even able to score. We didn't kill a Vil on the berries, so. But we have very healthy scouts. 4 almost full HP scouts. We're feeling pretty good. My opponent is down another Vil, which is evening things up. And if we look at the scoreboard, we are about dead even on the Vil count. Obviously, I just got wheelbarrow, so my economy isn't actually better because Vikings get wheelbarrow for free, so I take that back. But the fact that I am the same number of Vils and have wheelbarrow means I have done a little bit of work, though that is mainly, I think, my opponent having a TC idle time, so I can't take full credit for it. He's going to be pressuring a stable of mine with his spears. Now, I thought it was interesting he sent the spears forward, so I thought, oh, I should be able to snipe a couple of Vils because he probably doesn't have spears at his base. That is another Vil kill. We're almost even on the KD8. At this point, I was feeling a little bit better because I had sniped 2 more Vils. I didn't think I had taken as much damage as I did on the wood line, so I was thinking, all right, we're in a better spot. Score's fairly even. Let's get ready to fight these spearmen. Now, my opponent being an infantry civ makes me think he'll probably go a little bit all in on these pikemen or spearmen. Either way, he does see one of the ranges, but I decided to go double range. I'm gonna go for crossbow. I probably should just go cav archer if I'm being honest, but I have yet to try and incorporate cav archers as much as I should. So we're gonna start grabbing some archers. They'll be able to clear up these spears, and then the spears and infantry advantage that my opponent has, being the Vikings, will hopefully be nulled out pretty quickly, at least especially once we hit Castle Age. So we've clicked up to Castle Age. We're on our way there with 35 Vils. It's kind of a lower eco, but honestly, we would have been 40 Vils if I hadn't lost 5 of them. So, well, maybe less. We probably would have clicked up to Castle Age sooner. I know I like to try and hit Castle Age with like 38 Vils. Maybe 36, maybe, you know, less. 35 is a pretty good number, though. Fairly happy with that. I'll be able to work with my economy quite well. 15 farms for my opponent, 18 for myself. Both of us have a decent amount of gold miners and wood choppers, so it's pretty even eco. As you can see, res collected is also almost dead even. A couple hundred in my favor. I'm assuming that's just the idle eco time. Oh, my opponent has got these scouts up here. That's really interesting. I didn't remember seeing those. I have left my scouts up here. We're looking to try and get another Vil kill. Ah, and that feels so good. Now that eco KD doesn't look nearly as horrible, I feel so much better about myself. All right, Castle Age is hit, and I am up before my opponent, so we're feeling pretty good. Crossbow will be clicked. I do get thumb ring free, so I'll have a decent crossbow timing here. If I can, of course, utilize it, we'll have to see. I'm not looking for a second TC right away. I mean, I could easily afford it. There we go. Don't remember 100% when I put that down, but second TC is going down. We're going to be able to clear up these scouts. My opponent just barely notices and runs away just in time. I've kept my scouts out here for a second longer. It was really interesting to me that he had these houses. I thought there was going to be like a Vil trying to put something back here or what. I was kind of confused, I'm not going to lie. Second TC goes up for me before my opponent even hits Castle Age. We do have a university on the way as well. The university obviously is going to be for ballistics, since we are going to be on crossbowmen. And they will be coming out. Now, I've been in Castle Age ahead of time for quite some time, so I really need to try and leverage that advantage. So far, I have not, but we are now moving forward with crossbows to do just that. My opponent has a decent mass of archers himself, and he's about to click Castle Age. Or, sorry, he's about to hit Castle Age. So we'll have to see. Both of us grabbing our mining tech for gold. That spear is going to scout out the little rush I've got going forward with these crossbows. He does go down. My opponent is now in Castle Age. He's grabbing bodkin and heading up to crossbow as well. I believe I have... Yeah, I've got bodkin as well. Okay. We're feeling pretty good. We're going to be able to take out these scouts fairly quickly. Lots of damage. No cav armor or bloodlines for my opponent. We're feeling pretty good about that. 8 crossbows versus 13 archers. I think there's a chance I could micro this. I should have one extra range, right? Crossbowmen are 7. Yeah. If I were better with ranged micro, I maybe actually could have pulled ahead there. Right now it's 4 for 4, so I'm not feeling too bad about it, but I do just int my scouts in. Not very well played from me. So I realized, all right, he probably has the archer numbers. We're going to back up a little bit. Now, I do have free thumb ring, so I probably still have an advantage over him. Ballistics is not in for either of us. Now, he does get free handcart, so his economy is going to start kicking off. He does not quite have an eco lead. So we're feeling pretty good. His second town center does go down. Things are looking fairly even. Now, he has the score lead, so I was thinking this guy's he's on top of it, but I'm actually 7 bills up. Now, obviously, he's got handcart, so his eco is definitely more efficient. But the eco, wow, the KD and the eco KD are dead even. 18 for 18, 5 for 5. We are like right on top of it. My only advantage is the fact that he has a little bit more TC idle time than I do. So, something to know. I've also had a TC down for villagers a little bit longer as well. Let's see, we've got 11 crossbows. He has 10 here. Definitely a fight I could take. I should walk up and do that. Oh, we lose a vill. No, I think we lost 2 vills. My goodness. I was talking about that advantage I had. In the gutter now. He's being very, very smart. I do like this tactic from him. He is sending crossbowmen to both sides. He's got 2 different control groups. This one to try and shoot me off gold and... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry. This one to try and shoot me off gold and this one over here to pressure my base. So really well played from my opponent. I'm going to try and grab a couple of knights. I have a stable from my scout play. So we're feeling pretty good about it. I'm going to go forward with these archers. I know I have the numbers now, so we should be able to take those out relatively easily. Something I have started doing is when I'm in Castle Age, throw 5 villagers on stone and then take it about, it takes about 5 minutes, 5 or 6 minutes. It depends on how much stone you either sold or used to make town centers to get a castle. So that's something I have started doing. And I'm really, really happy with that. My opponent, these 3 crossbows are still being super duper annoying. They're keeping a lot of my villagers idle. I don't know when we're going to be able to clean these up or not. Got decent amount of crossbow numbers. My opponent has a decent army at home. We're both just kind of in our own element. Again, no one has taken anything water-wise. I think militarily it could have been smart. I've never actually gone to oysters, so there's definitely a gold source here to exploit as well. So there's reasons to go water. I think it's just that neither of us are confident on water, or at least well versed in it, so we've just avoided it and just played it like an open/closed map. I don't know. Can I call this person an arena player? The only reason I think they're an arena player is because Arabia, I'm pretty sure, was banned. I star Arabia. We didn't get it, so I'm assuming that he's banned Arabia, right? And that's why we got this map. But he hasn't walled up very much. Like, his base is still really open, so I don't know if that's the case or not. Forward Siege Workshop was coming forward from him. That's very interesting. Wonder if my knights catch this. Nope, they don't. Walk right past him. Oh! If I were just better with vision, man. Alright, we are going to walk forward with our crossbows, though, and I have mined up that stone that I was talking about. We are going to go ahead and try and drop a castle. 9 villagers forward. Probably more than that would have been better. My opponent's on 16 crossbow. I am on 11. He just got a kill. Now, at this point, I realized, wait a minute, maybe this castle is not such a good idea. Because I don't have the advantage here. But then I started getting some really good trades. I was about to click my vills away, and then I felt like I just killed a whole ton of crossbows, which I did. So we're gonna commit to it. He has to decide to try and, obviously he can't anymore. He doesn't have any crossbows, but the idea would be he has to decide if he wants to try and deny said castle or not. We barely come out on top, even though we had slight numbers disadvantage. So happy with that. I think my opponent. Oh yeah, we're both on ballistics. I don't know if he has thumb ring. No, he doesn't. Vikings don't get thumb ring, that's right. So that's probably a big reason why we were able to pull ahead there. Quite happy with that indeed. Now, res collected, he has pulled forward. I do believe that's the handcart kicking in. He's still down a few vills, so Yeah, the idle TC time really kicking him in the butt there. He is on a 3rd TC. I am still on 2 myself, but that's what I get for doing a forward castle. I put the castle here for 2 reasons. 1, I wanted to keep the stone safe. And 2, I wanted to deny any water because I hadn't really checked... Whoops, let me get my vision. I hadn't, at the time, checked if he had put down a dock. I wasn't 100% sure. So I thought, you know what, a castle could deny any dock that's in here, and then I don't have to worry about any water play, any water shenanigans making it into my base, because they could definitely deal a lot of damage if they were to do that. So I was fairly happy with this castle. I guess it also denies the berries, so fairly happy enough with the castle placement as is. We have both clicked up to imp. That's got to be the best feeling with like crossbow archers in general, is it is so easy to click up to imp. You're not spending near as much food as you are with cavalry. Something I'm finding is like castle age, crossbow slash cavalry archer just feels king, you know? They just feel so good. Now, I am maybe overcommitting a little bit here, but I know my opponent has a decent number of crossbow. He also has ARB, so I don't think I'm going to be able to push in here too quickly. So my idea is I will go for Mangonels, try and push through his base, and then also Mangonels should do fairly well against his crossbow slash ARB when they come up. I saw some villagers moving up here. I think that's the ones, or that's the vills building this TC up here. I go forward, we just end up attacking a couple of spearmen. Sorry, just a couple of Keshik coming out, nothing too fancy. We're gonna attack ground right between these 2 buildings to help get those out of the way a little bit quicker. My opponent has a nice little forward staging ground up here. I didn't realize he caught that up as early as he did. 2 relics selected by him. Definitely better than I am in that regard. I don't know if I grab the relics at any point in this game. I know I built a monastery at some point. 2 Mangonels, we're feeling pretty good. We're going to try and push this TC next. I have a decent number of crossbows. We're about to hit Imperial Age. We're going to go for it and see what we can get done here. 3 Mangonels. This is a lot of good pressure that I'm able to apply, so we're feeling fairly good about this. Oh man, we have a decent score lead too. Almost 1,000 up, although I guess that's because my opponent hasn't quite hit Imp. His score should jump once he hits Imp. We're gonna build a castle here to try and take over this stone from my opponent. Yep, his score jumps up. We're both 5k. I'm almost 6 myself. We've got a decent number of Mangonels here. I'm feeling pretty confident. I think I start researching, yep, Onager. So things are feeling very good. My opponent does have Arbalest coming in, Chemistry, and Bracer. And for my part, I have pretty much abandoned the crossbow upgrades because I don't have Arb. And we're gonna try and move to Cavalry. I think the Siege can cover the fighting of said crossbows and Arbalests, so... Oh, that's 2 Onagers down for free. Very well played to my opponent. He does now have Arbalest up. And my crossbows are gonna be just absolutely melted here. Obviously, I don't seem to be paying much attention. We lose our entire crossbow mass. We back everything up behind these 2 castles. I still have a very good staging ground here. We're denying, berries, not that they matter, some stone. And we're taking some of his stone on his side. My opponent is expanding up to the top half of the map, though. And he's gonna come forward with a couple of Mangonels here. This is where I decided to put down my 3rd town center. I did not know about any of this. All the action was down here. This is where my focus was, right? So I had no idea about any of this, but I decided to close it off just in case because he'd sent those man-at-arms, those crossbows, like he was being cheeky. So I thought I'll keep my base closed, but I am going to get a 3rd TC up. I'm not exactly sure how many town centers my opponent is on. Well, I was expecting to see those Mangonels come forward, but they have yet to do so. Onager is in, so we're feeling pretty good about that. I don't know if I've grabbed Siege Engineers yet. What range are... Nope. No Siege Engineers. Yes, we did. +1. Okay. So we grabbed Siege Engineers. We're just going to try and take out his ranges, because I know he is building Arbalest. We take out his ranges, and then we're going to work our way into his base. Obviously, I don't see all of this. I just know that there's 1 town center there. So we're going to go for ranges, and then the town centers. We have a decent amount of trebs, and this is where my opponent starts making things messy. Coming forward with his own siege, and I just bought myself a castle. I'm pretty sure, well, no, I probably had the res for it. We're gonna throw a castle down right in front of this TC to try and deny my opponent's advance. I do think I end up buying Do I end up buying a castle? Maybe, I don't know. But I just know, like, I don't have what it takes to necessarily deny this push. Besides castles. Like, all my attention is here, my military is here, and I don't want to send military home. So I just throw down a castle, and I think I end up throwing another castle down pretty soon. Ooh, I missed the onager shots. Really big onager shots against those arbalest. Ah, darn. Decent trade, though. We clear up most of those arbalest, and I don't think my opponent has any ranges, except for up top. Okay, so he does have a couple. He's about to break in. This is where I bought my castle. Or at least the last, like, 100 stone I needed for the castle. We get this castle up in time, and the push does continue. We're able to take down that one TC. I can see my opponent has a town center here. We're going to back up these trebs, because we know they aren't going to be able to stay alive. Are we backing them up or not? Castle comes up. Safe and sound. It looks like we're not bringing the trebs back. I thought I shift queued them over here. My bad. That's a free treb to my opponent. But my backside is feeling fairly good. I've got 2 castles. Obviously, we're both an imp, so trebs could be on their way. But that is where I decide to start making some stables. And I grab, I believe, silk armor, is it? So we make a bunch more stables. I grab silk armor, and I'm going to try and get the rest of the upgrades for these light cav. I'm going to switch to Hussar, and my gold unit will probably remain siege. I don't have a ton of gold. I've got this gold here. I've taken all the gold inside my base. Oh, we're gonna mine this gold over here as well. I think I need to make a monk for that relic. That was the intent. But the idea at this point, there we go. Silk armor coming in, Hussar coming in. I think I'm just missing the final armor upgrade and a couple of attack upgrades. So we're getting ready to try and flood my opponent with Hussar and just raid him to death. Also, if he comes in with his own trebs, I should hopefully have an answer to that. He, on the other hand, is making a little bit more siege. He's still keeping up with the boom. 87 vills, though, actually. This is a lot of TC idle time for my opponent. Wow, 35 minutes. Jesus. Now, I'm about to hit the 130 vill cap of that I'm comfortable with, and I'll stop producing vills, so the TC idle time will eventually add up on my end as well. I do kind of grab a couple of eco upgrades. We've got heavy plow. I have a decent amount of farms, but not enough to keep up this amount of production of at least Hussar that I want to keep up. So we're going to try and get a whole lot more farms. How many farms is this? This is 18 up here. And yeah, okay. So about almost 60 farms. Ooh, a bunch of arbalists dying for free. That's always nice to see. We're going to be walking forward here pretty soon. I don't have siege onagers Tatars. Siege engineers is, I think, maybe as important, maybe more important. We're gonna come forward with these mangonels. Ooh, we just barely missed that arbalest. That's gonna be really annoying because we can't hit our own unit. We're gonna walk forward with the Hussar, though. We are ready to deal some damage. Oh! Well played. That little arbalest got a free kill on an onager. And this is where we try to flood our opponent with just an absolute wave of Hussar. All those vills do quickly garrison, so I move up to try and find some other areas with which to raid. More Hussar are constantly going to be streaming in. Now my opponent, he decides he needs to do a push at the same time I am. He thinks I'm probably distracted, so he's going to try and push at the same time. We're going to try and take out this TC, walk forward with our trebs, and just keep a bunch of Hussar streaming in. On this side, I do see it. I was paying attention, proud of myself for that, and I start making some keshiks and villagers to try and break down these rams and keep this castle alive. I do not want to lose this castle. It would open me up to be attacked quite a bit from my opponent. It's interesting that he went for the rams instead of going for trebs himself. So we're able to clear this up just in the nick of time, which feels really, really, really good. And my opponent is still being raided at home. We're about to take down another, and that push from him is basically pushed back. He does still have a decent amount of ARB, but I am in his eco, running around with Hussar. And we're gonna keep these trebs moving. I believe we're gonna head him up to this castle next. No, the onager dies for no reason. These onagers have been very clutch at fighting the arbalest, so quite happy with those, though. I definitely could have utilized them much better if I were better at the game. We've repelled this attack, repaired our castle until we ran out of stone, and we're sending all our vills back to work. This this castle is about to go down. We're taking out even more eco, and our opponent just doesn't have a lot of answers. He's on his last legs. 60 vills, just a ton of raiding been able to be done. And he does call the GG. Well played to my opponent. That was quite a fun game, and I really love that neither of us went for docks. Oh man, water maps are just not our forte. Either way, that was pretty fun for me. I enjoyed watching it. I think I'm losing my voice. Good golly. Hopefully you did enjoy watching. A couple of different civs. We got Tatars and Vikings in here. I definitely want to keep the mutual random enabled because it does make for some fun ranked games. So I'll bring more to you in the future. Good golly, I keep clicking off. Thanks again for watching, and I will talk to you later.